We do not take it for granted. And in due course, we will receive you even in a better fashion. I want to also comment on some of the points that were made by the speakers before me, particularly requests that were made. Just like the honorable member representing you had said, which is true, the Umuezeke Obokwe and Nguyekwe Road are already in the 2025 budget. So those roads will be flagged off any moment from now. On the issue of power, I'm sure you will know what we are doing with power. As I leave here, I'm going to instruct the Honorable Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities to come back here, evaluate what is required with a view to ensuring that power is restored here. I have no doubt that before the end of the month, you will have power here. On the issue of water, this year is a year that we have declared emergency on water. We have already started. In most places, in Umuahia and Abia don't have water. We've taken over 9 months to study what the problem is, and we have found a solution. So, in no distant future, I believe that water revolution will get here. Okwa, the land of liquid gold. Fertile land and resilient men and women paints the clearest picture of God's generosity to Abia and in the Abia. I was very touched when one of the speakers, I think it was Pastor Ralph Ebu, talked about your people. That you are people of integrity, people of honor, people who say one thing and do it. People who don't genuflect. That is the kind of people that I like. This land perpetually reminds us that ours is a great destiny because everything required to achieve greatness has been placed here by the benevolence of the Creator. Beyond its supply of natural resources, the geographical resource elements in this region set it apart as a gold mine of opportunities, blending the endless blessings of the sun at dawn with the extravagant riches of the ocean from across its boundary. Even with all its riches and glory, Okwa also points to all that has gone wrong with the placement of our socioeconomic priorities over the last few decades. Long before the helicopters of the oil companies began circling our skies, Okwa has since been established as a major agricultural belt, thanks to its extensive spread of fertile land and generous aquatic produce for the local and regional markets. The discovery of oil and subsequent production activities placed the land on the global economic map, significantly boosting its contribution to the regional and national treasury. Unfortunately, the economic boom that came with the discovery and production of crude oil did not bring the expected development to Palam. Rather than rapid socioeconomic turnaround, what happened was a tragic betrayal of the high hopes and expectations that had heralded the discovery of oil in the late 50s. Environmental degradation, neglect, and a terrible culture of exploitation and political opportunism became the reality of the land, as the people were left to wallow in penury, unable to continue their traditional occupation, nor chart new paths for themselves, as they became virtually locked in for reasons of poor access routes and the inadequacy of means to pursue their dreams in safer destinations. Hope quickly gave way to despair, and as the years went by, many quietly surrendered to the harsh reality of the environment, living only on the memories of one's glorious past. Okwa and the communities around this district largely mirror the ugly state of affairs in Abia when we assumed office on May 29, 2023. The streets have since been taken over by mountains of refuse heaps and many urban roads overgrown with weeds. Several communities in at least 2 local government areas were firmly under the control of non-state actors. Payment of salaries and pensions were treated as discretionary undertakings, done at the pleasure of the political authorities, and across the wider national community, our dear state has become the butt of crude jokes and ridicule. Fixing the state and resetting it on a new trajectory was a mission many tagged impossible, owing to years of betrayal and steelbacks by political actors. But we came on the strength of a covenant we entered with God and the people. We have not just come to serve, but to do so in a way that would inspire a new culture of excellence, dedication, and courage in public service. While interacting with India last Friday, I made it clear that we are not where we wish to be yet, but it is now beyond dispute that this is no longer the Abia of old. A new thing has happened. Thank you. A new thing has happened, and the promise of the new Abia is beginning to settle. The streets of Abia today are cleaner than they had ever been in decades. Workers and retirees now know with certainty when their entitlements will hit their bank accounts. And for the first time in many years, we have opened employment into the state civil service to a wide population of applicants through a competitive and transparent process, so that qualified individuals, irrespective of their political and economic background, can have a shot at a proper job. Rules that have been abandoned for ages are being fixed without political consideration. And of course, we have recovered every inch of Abia territory that was under the control of criminals prior to our assumption of office. The joyful atmosphere around here this afternoon is proof that we are moving in the right direction. Today, we officially declare that the era of neglect of Okwa and all the communities within the land is over. You will not only get what is due you at the resource allocation table, the various levers of our administration shall collaborate extensively with the agencies like the Abia State Oil Producing Area Development Commission as SOPADEC, Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC, and other interventionist establishments to restore the years that have been lost to the politics of exclusion and deceit. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me with immense joy welcome you to the formal flag-off of the construction of the 11.1 kilometer Obeje, Umudobia, or Waza Road. here in Okwa West. I want to thank you for the warm reception and the happy expressions on your faces. A new age begins today, and all we have come to do is to be witnesses to history. Recall that in September 2023, we performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the Abia Industrial and Innovation Park, AIIP, at Owaza, where incidentally, this road will ultimately lead to, as the Commissioner for Works, Engineer Don Otumchiroti, had rightly stated. This 11.1 kilometer road, which will pass through several major communities and clans in Okwa West, will boost the marketability and viability of the AIIP and effectively assure the investors that we are determined to deliver on our commitment as a government to achieve the promises of the park, which will be the first of its kind in this part of the world. I'd like to inform you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that just a few days ago, I believe it was on Friday, we got the good news that the federal government has approved a modular refinery, which will be sited inside the AIIP. That modular refinery is being built, land has already been allocated, is being built by HIS Refining and Petrochemicals Company Limited. May I also use this opportunity to appreciate the investors who are actively subscribing to the AIIP for their faith and optimism. My assurance is that every support we can give as a government shall be availed you as we work together to create a robust industrial cluster that will accelerate the rapid socioeconomic development of the region and fast-track the restoration of the years that have been lost to poor leadership. Significant changes will happen in the socioeconomic landscape of this area before the end of the year, when this road will expectedly be completed. These changes will manifest along the frontiers of job creation as new businesses spring up, expansion of opportunities for local entrepreneurs and new investors, and extension of the Abia urban corridor. This project is therefore not just about creating access to the towns and villages along these axis. It is more about reviving dormant economic assets, opening new horizons, and reigniting the trends that once stirred the souls of our fathers. The story of the new Abia represents the triumph of a people over seemingly impossible difficulty, teaching us how to win if we do not yield to despair. Okwa shall no longer be a forgotten place. Your land will yield forth its best fruits, and your barns shall never be empty again. You will enjoy the riches of the environment, and the oil in your land shall bring you boundless prosperity. Those who dare win, and the produce from your land shall travel through seas to where they earn the best rewards. Restoring the glory of Okwa land is a responsibility we must collectively rise to shoulder as community stakeholders and leaders. The timely completion of this project will be impossible if we do not give the required support to the contractor and his team. We may suffer occasional traffic and environmental inconveniences as the bulldozers and other earth-moving equipment begin to do their work, but those intermittent disturbances will be foundation for the smooth access road we shall begin to enjoy in a short time. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to thank the contractor who has already started work before this flag off. And that is to show you that this is a very, very serious project. This project will be supervised by the State Ministry of Works, ably led by the Honorable Commissioner. You will do well to support them by regularly bringing to their attention any development that may take away from the desired outcome. This is your project, and your input will never be undervalued. And a final note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, development projects such as this will be impossible without your tax revenue. I will again invite individuals and businesses operating anywhere in the state to make a commitment to regularly pay their taxes and other statutory fees to the government. If there's anything we have sufficiently demonstrated in the last 21 months, it is the fact that with deliberate planning and prudent application and management of resources, widespread development is not only possible, but can be attained quickly. Let me also respond to one other request that was made about a pastor promise. I'm just getting to know about it. I hear it's something that happened a year or so before our administration. So I've instructed my special advisor, monitoring and evaluation, to engage with the head of service so that we can get to know what the problem is and solve it as quickly as possible. In our administration, we do not take kindly to people being punished unjustly, and we do not take pride in people being made to suffer. So it's unfortunate that his situation has been like this, but since you brought it up, if you had brought it up earlier, maybe we would have been able to deal with it before now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me once again thank you for being part of this flag off. Thank the children from St. Anne's School. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for being part of this event, and I hope that you will continue to do well in your studies. I'd like to thank the gentleman and his group that also gave us a cow. We say thank you very much. And this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all the people who have been pre-assigned to join me as we flag off the 11.1 kilometer Abia, and Owaza route. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for His Excellency, our dear Governor. Thank you so much. Of course, His Excellency is now proceeding for the flag off program of your Umodobia, Owaza Road, in Asa, Kwa West local government area. Immediately after the flag off, we will have the national anthem to finally close this session. So please sit back. For those who are not moving with us, enjoy yourself.
I've got about here.